Great minds have purpose, others have wishes. Little minds are tamed and subdued by misfortunes, but great minds rise above them. Christmas is the season for kindling the fire of hospitality in the hall, the genial flame of charity in the heart. Others may write from the head, but he writes from the heart, and the heart will always understand him. A tart temper never mellows with age, and a sharp tongue is the only edged tool that grows keener with constant use. To look upon its grass-grown yard, where the sunbeams seem to sleep so quietly, one would think that there at least the dead might rest in peace. I profess not to know how women's hearts are wooed and won. To me they have always been matters of riddle and admiration. Love is never lost. If not reciprocated, it will flow back and soften and purify the heart. Sweet is the memory of distant friends. Like the mellow rays of the departing sun, it falls tenderly, yet sadly, on the heart. A kind heart is a fountain of gladness, making everything in its vicinity freshen into smiles. And if unhappy in her love, her heart is like some fortress that has been captured, and sacked, and abandoned, and left desolate. The tie which links mother and child is of such pure and immaculate strength as to be never violated. The only happy author in this world is he who is below the care of reputation. The land of literature is a fairy land to those who view it at a distance, but, like all other landscapes, the charm fades on a nearer approach, and the thorns and briars become visible. Rising genius always shoots out its rays from among the clouds, but these will gradually roll away and disappear as it ascends to its steady luster. It's a dog-eat-dog world. But only if the second dog is more stupid than the first. Poetry had breathed over and sanctified the land. For my part, I love to give myself up to the illusion of poetry. A hero of fiction that never existed is just as valuable to me as a hero of history that existed 1,000 years ago. Little minds are tamed and subdued by misfortune, but great minds rise above them. There is nothing like the silence and loneliness of night to bring dark shadows over the brightest mind. He is indeed the true enchanter, whose spell operates, not upon the senses, but upon the imagination and the heart. There is an eloquence in true enthusiasm that is not to be doubted. A sharp tongue is the only edge tool that grows keener with constant use. It has also been the peculiar lot of our country to be visited by the worst kind of English travelers. But what courage can withstand the ever-during and all-besetting terrors of a woman's tongue? They are given to all kinds of marvelous beliefs, are subject to trances and visions, and frequently see strange sights, and hear music and voices in the air. There is a sacredness in tears, they are the messengers of overwhelming grief, of deep contrition and of unspeakable love. After a man passes 60, his mischief is mainly in his head. It is almost startling to hear this warning of departed time sounding among the tombs, and telling the lapse of the hour, which, like a billow, has rolled us onward towards the grave. How easy is it for one benevolent being to diffuse pleasure around him, and how truly is a kind heart a fountain of gladness, making everything in its vicinity to freshen into smiles. Villainy wears many masks, none so dangerous as the mask of virtue. One of the greatest and simplest tools for learning more and growing is doing more. A barking dog is often more useful than a sleeping lion. Jealous people poison their own banquet and then eat it. Surely happiness is reflective, like the light of heaven. A father may turn his back on his child, but a mother's love endures through all. There rise authors now and then, who seem proof against the mutability of language, because they have rooted themselves in the unchanging principles of human nature. The easiest thing to do, whenever you fail, is to put yourself down by blaming your lack of ability for your misfortunes. Into the space of one little hour sins enough may be conjured up by evil tongues to blast the fame of a whole life of virtue. Nothing impresses the mind with a deeper feeling of loneliness than to tread the silent and deserted scene of former throng and pageant. True love will not brook reserve, it feels undervalued and outraged, when even the sorrows of those it loves are concealed from it.